I thought it was really funny how everyone commented on my Dallas video asking where I found cheap rent here in Chicago. So I was like, why not do a video on how I found my 700 square foot studio in Chicago, close to downtown, for less than $1,000. So if you're interested in this video, please keep watching. So I want to start off by saying that I found my apartment in the pandemic, like in the thick of the pandemic. And I think that's what really helped. But also my landlord told me that the rent has been stabilized and it hasn't gone up in like 10 years. So I think that this is just, you know, I just have an amazing landlord and I got a steal. But I'm going to share with you guys some of the sites that I have my notes here. I'm going to share with you guys some of the sites that I use to help me find my apartment. And I did a video on this previously, but I'm going to kind of go into depth with how I searched and how I found this apartment. So some of the sites that I used were Zillow, DomU, Apartment.com, Apartments.com, HotPads, Trulia, Facebook Marketplace, and those are all the sites that I used. My first tip is to really tap into your network. Now I know people that are moving here are moving like not knowing anyone at all, but there's Facebook groups, there's people that you may know that live in Chicago, people that you may know who knows someone that lives in Chicago, and vice versa. So really tap into your network. Like when I was looking for my apartment, I didn't tell everyone, but I told like the people that was closest to me. Like I told my cousin, I told my sister, I told my friends that were close to me, or even like some of my friends that like watch my YouTube videos were like, hey, I know you're looking for an apartment. I found this apartment on Facebook Marketplace. You should go tour it. I think it's nice. So really just tap into your network. Like let the people who need to know that you're looking for an apartment, and maybe they can keep an eye out for you or look for you. Next thing that really helped me in my apartment search was when I was in my neighborhood and I was walking my dog, my old neighborhood, and I was walking my dog, I would like walk around and see the names of the management company, and I would write them down in my phone, and I would call and be like, hey, this is my budget, this is what I'm looking for, do you guys accept pets, do you have any apartments for me to tour? And typically that went okay. Also, another tip, don't let them tell you no. Don't let them tell you no. Like they know other property management companies, and they know other people who know about apartments and who knows realtors and to find places in Chicago. So don't let them exactly tell you no, but ask them, do they have any other resources to offer you? But driving around and finding those apartment complexes and what neighborhood I wanted to live in was really helpful, because I was able to call, see some units, but they weren't in my budget. So I was like, okay, when I'm ready to up my budget, then I will apply to a place like this. Next, this goes for like kind of driving around and finding property management companies. I don't know why I can't think that, but Google, like I would always Google like top property management company in Chicago, and I would call them and be like, hey, I'm looking for stuff on the south side. Do you guys have any rental units, or do you guys know anything? Like just, you know, let me know. And that was okay. That was kind of helpful, but the way that I really found my apartment was patience. And I know that people might say this, but I lived in a house with two other girls, and I think out of them I was probably the last one to find an apartment, because we like all moved out separately. And I think I was the last one, or maybe it was my sister, but I think I was the last one to find an apartment. And it was, oh no, it was my sister. But I was still like kind of late to the game to finding an apartment, but it was because I was really patient, and I was like looking every day, and I was like, okay, I know where I want to live, I know where I want to stay, let me just be patient and I'll find something. But as I said in other videos, DomU was where I found my apartment, which is a Chicago based apartment search site thing. I went on there and I was like, this is my budget, this is my criteria, this is what I want, and then I found my place. Another tip that I would give is to not settle. Some of the places that me and my sister toured that you guys seen, they were okay. They were not the best. They were like, it was like no parking, or it was kind of old, and or amenities. No amenity. Well, do I really have amenities? I do kind of have amenities here, kind of, sort of, but not really. Don't settle. Set a budget and stay at that budget. Ask these property management companies if they have rent specials. Ask them if they're able to negotiate the price down, because it's like, if you're taking a tour and you see like, and I advise this is what I did for any of my apartment tours: turn on the water, open up the cabinets, turn on the lights, like everything that you would do, like plug your phone into a wall socket, anything that you would do when you're living there, do it during your tour. So say if like, I know I just watched a apartment tour video, and the girl was talking about how she turned on the water and it came like sprouting out of her tub. And so she ended up like moving a month later. That's something that you can negotiate. You would be like, okay, this tub is broken, so either this is gonna have to be fixed like before I move in, or we're gonna negotiate this price down and I'll fix it myself, or I'll live with this. So I say all that to say, negotiate, set your budget, be firm, and ask for rent specials. There has to be rent specials. Inflation is crazy right now. People aren't moving, or people are moving. I don't know. I haven't really heard of people moving, but people aren't moving. The housing market is crazy. Ask them for a cheaper rate. Girl, ask them for a cheaper rate. For people that I've known, renting with a landlord versus a management company, you might have more leeway in negotiating your price. I didn't negotiate my price because it was right at my budget. Like I literally have a steal, and I always say that my apartment is a steal. The only con that I would say about my apartment is that I live on a busy street and it's kind of loud, but I'd be asleep anyway, or like I don't be here anyway, so I kind of just was like, but I really got a steal. Like very spacious, very quiet on the inside. I've never had any problems with my neighbors. They're kind of older. Like I play music and I have people over, and they're never like, oh, you're too loud. I have a dog too, and they're never like complaining about my dog either. I do definitely think it's easier to negotiate your price with a landlord versus negotiating your price with a property management company, because those are huge. If they're not going to get rent from you, they're going to get it from someone else. Same with the landlord too, but like landlords have to put in their work on their own. Like a management company, they have a designated team to like put these postings up and search for people and do showings, versus a landlord, they're like, you know, they have lives, they have things to do too. They're not really trying to like go through all of that. So quickly, those are my tips on finding a cheap apartment here in Chicago. This is how I found my cheap apartment. My rent has gone up since I've lived here, but not a lot. Not a lot at all. I'm very much thankful I have a landlord that doesn't bother me. I don't even think I've seen her in a year. I haven't seen her in a year since I moved in, and I'm just very thankful. Sites. So again, to recap, choose your budget and stay firm on it. Stay firm on your budget. You will find something. Patience, patience, patience. Check out Zillow, domuapartment.com, Trulia, I can never say that, and I think no one can either, but Hot Pads and Facebook Marketplace. I know that in cities like New York, they do, or LA, they do Craigslist. I've never tried Craigslist. Personally, I'm scared of Craigslist. Yeah, no. Drive around. If you have the chance to come to Chicago, if you already live here, drive around. Tap into your network, ask your friends. Like, you never know, like you may have a friend who lives in an apartment and you really like their apartment and they're moving out, and you be like, oh, tell your landlord I'm taking over your lease. Like stuff like that. Ask for rent specials and negotiate. And I pray that everyone who's looking for a cheap apartment in Chicago, I pray you find the apartment of your dreams. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I will see you guys in my next one. Peace.